Today's headline is Through in the Puddle. Cabbie thought he saw his 50 cents in sight. The subheadline says, but his passenger was a genius and full fare didn't materialize. This is Tale of the Hub given to Bostonians by way of New York City. It says, in one of the suburbs of Boston, there is a local bit of slang which always puzzles strangers. Whenever a bargain is driven or argument over some small matter grows heated, someone is sure to say facetiously, oh well, you might throw in the puddle, or the puddle is thrown in. A New York woman, who as for her husband's sins moved into the shadow of Bunker Hill, after hearing of the puddle from butcher, baker, and candlestick maker, finally went to a friend and asked for an explanation. Here is the story. This particular suburb of Boston is honored by being the home of a literary woman known to fame. Like many another genius, she has marked eccentricities. In this particular case, genius testifies to itself in an exceeding great care of pennies. Frugality isn't the ordinary hallmark of the artistic temperament, but this case is exceptional, and the tradespeople have been heard to wonder how one could find time to write immortal books when one consumes so much valuable time in haggling over an extra 2 cents a pound on rib roast. The home, which is the shrine of genius, is a charming one, but it's on the very outskirts of the town and crowns a high hill. The view from the hilltop is inspiring, but the climb is a wearying one, especially in bad weather. Perhaps the site was chosen as allegorical after the offer had arrived. When the dweller upon the hilltop was obliged to come down among the profane crowd and go into Boston, she drove back and forth to the station in her own carriage. But one rainy day, she came out from the city, and through some mistake, her carriage did not meet her. She waited and fumed, and finally asked the only cabman what he would charge to take her home. 50 cents, ma'am, said the cabby. Absurd, snapped the celebrity. I'll not pay any such price. Very well, ma'am. After another 5 minutes, genius descended to argument. You don't charge anyone else more than 25 cents. Well, ma'am, your house is the last one in the town, and there's the bad hill to be climbing. There was silence for another 5 minutes. Then genius inquired, how far will you take me for 25 cents? Halfway, ma'am. She closed her umbrella with a snap. Very well, I'll ride 25 cents worth. The cabby drove 15 minutes and then stopped. A head appeared at the window. You haven't gone halfway. Indeed I have, ma'am. You won't take me any further? Not for the price. Very well, drive me 35 cents worth. The cab jogged on for 5 minutes, then stopped again. This time it was on the town side of an immense puddle which stretched not only across the road, but across the gravel path as well. The carriage door opened, and genius picked up its skirts for descent, then caught sight of the puddle, faltered, stood with one foot on the step, and looked up the hill toward the imposing house. The cabman thought the 50 cents was his, but he didn't know his passenger. She stepped back into the cab, but thrust an irate face out of the window. The very least you could do after such extortion is to throw in the puddle, she said. The cabman was overwhelmed. He drove across the puddle, set his fare down on the muddy path, and drove slowly back to town, where he told a story that since has become town property. This article originally came from the New York Sun. This story came from the great state of Massachusetts, being reported in the Boston Sunday Globe of November 20th, 1898. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to continue to uncover all of America's lost and forgotten history, then remember before you leave to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to like and comment below. And we will see you next time on Americana Archives.